Wagwan everybody, welcome back to another video from Daniel's Delight JA. Today I will be showing you how to cook the best cowfoot and broad beans ever. So let's get right into it. Okay, so to make my cowfoot and beans, I have here 2 pounds of cowfoot, and you want to ensure that your cowfoot is washed properly and is perfectly cleaned. I used vinegar and lime juice to wash my cowfoot repeatedly until I was satisfied that it was ready to be seasoned. Normally when you buy the local cowfoot, it still has hair on it. Like 90% of the time you will get hair on the cowfoot when you buy it locally. However, what I do to get rid of the remaining hair that the butcher may have missed is to burn the hair. You will just burn it over the stove and scrape it off. But that is mostly for the local cowfoot though. Now to season my cowfoot or to flavor my cowfoot, I am using a mixture of powdered and fresh seasoning. So in this container here, I have half teaspoon of salt, half teaspoon of black pepper, half teaspoon of paprika, half teaspoon of garlic powder, half teaspoon of onion powder, and in this other container here, I have 6 pimento seeds, 2 cloves of garlic, and some fresh thyme. So I am just gonna go in with my powdered seasoning, and I'm gonna sprinkle it evenly, distribute it evenly over all the meat. And then I just add my cloves of garlic, my thyme, and my pimento seed. And here I am also adding some caramel or browning, as we Jamaicans call it, browning. So I am going in with 1 teaspoon for now, and later I can always add more if it is so desired. It's now time to rub my seasoning into my meat, and I am using my hands to do so. You can use a gloves to do this. However, if you don't have a gloves, just ensure that your hands are clean. Cowfoot doesn't have any beef on it, so it's just mainly skin and bones. However, I am massaging my meat properly with my seasoning. Ensure that every piece of cowfoot is properly seasoned and coated with my fresh seasoning and my powdered seasoning. Even though there is no meat, I am ensuring that I massage my seasoning onto every piece of skin and gristle and bone. This is smelling so amazing. I'm just going to leave this to marinate for about say 30 minutes. Even though it is mainly skin and bones don't need to really marinate, but that is how I like to do it. Now to start cooking, I have my pressure cooker pot here with 3 tablespoons of vegetable oil, and I'm just going to let the oil heat up, and then I am adding my cowfoot. Now that my cowfoot is browned on both sides, I'm just going to cover it with water. This water is from the pan that I used to season my cowfoot, and I just wash out the pan and get out whatever seasoning was left in it, and just pour it onto my cow foot. As we know, cow foot is not one of the easiest thing to cook, so it's best to use a pressure cooker to get it tenderized. Otherwise, it would take an extremely long time to cook. I am now going to cover my pressure cooker, and I'm just going to leave that to cook for 30 minutes, and then I will turn my flame off. Ensure that you turn your flame off from your pressure cooker and you let it come down totally until there is no more steam coming from it before you open this pot, because it is extremely dangerous. Okay, so 30 minutes later I have turned off my stove, and as you can see, the lid, this part here, is still on my pressure cooker. Ensure that when you remove this, there is no sound coming from the pressure cooker. If you open the pressure cooker and it is not cooled properly, it could damage you. So please be careful when you're opening your pressure cooker, okay? And look at that nice brown rich color. I am just going to test it. Yes, it is exactly how I want it. So I am just running the fork through any meat that I can find to see if it runs through smoothly. And you know, once the fork runs through smooth, you know that your meat is cooked. I have done this ahead of time. I have some onions. This is one small onion, and this is 3 pieces of scallion and 2 cloves of garlic, and this is about a 1/4 piece of scotch bonnet pepper and 2 pieces of thyme. And I cut those up into small pieces, and all I'm going to do now is to add my cow foot to this. Alright, so we are now heading into the final steps, where I'm going to leave my tenderized cow foot to just simmer down to a stew, and then I will put the final touches to it. Wow, rich gummy goodness. I am now going to add the final touches, which are 2 tablespoons of ketchup and 1 tablespoon of soya sauce. After mixing those in, I just taste my pot to see if I need any more salt. And no, I don't need any more salt, but be reminded that you can add salt according to your dietary needs. Okay, so I have my final ingredient here, which is the Grace broad bean. This is the one that I am using. I am going to drain the preservative water from my beans. I never ever use the preservative water on my meat. So I have a strainer here, and I am just opening up my can and just have it over the sink and let the water drain from it, and then I will just add these to my meat. Alright, so I am just going to add my broad beans to my meat. And broad beans are just green legumes that come in a pod, and they have a slightly sweet, earthy flavor and are eaten by people all over the world. And I will just mix these in. And broad beans are also known as fava beans in other parts of the world, and are loaded with vitamins, minerals, fiber, and proteins, and is also said to offer impressive health effects, such as to improve your motor functions and your immunity. I present to you the end product, Cowfoot and Broadbean stew. This dish contributes a great deal to your health. It's loaded with protein, calcium, fiber, minerals, and vitamins, and is also revered as an aphrodisiac. The full recipe for my Cowfoot and beans will be in the description below, along with my Instagram link. Do remember to subscribe to my channel if you haven't done so as yet. Turn on your post notifications so you get notified every time I upload a video. Leave a comment about my Cowfoot and beans, like my video, and share it with your family and friends. Thank you for watching, and I will see you next time.